One message for you from your aunt. She will bust both of you in the head. Can y'all hear me?
Not rocket science,
I think you, like me, have a face for radio.
Can y'all hear me?
We gonna play with the players we got. Next man up.
That's why it sucks.
I'm not talking to you.
I'm not talking to you.
This kind of unprofessionalism does not need to be tolerated. I mean it. Like,
can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
What the hell is going on here? Just all hang up.
Another episode of the BS Podcast.
Hang on. There's all kinds of noise in my ear now.
Oh, jeez.
We need a little bit more professionalism.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Q-Dog. Alabama takes down Tennessee 37-20. Alabama gets stingy there at the end, and we are so excited to have you with us on the post-game reaction here. No idea exactly what's happening. Had to drive home, and so now we're going to find out if Coach press conference is happening. Go ahead and sound off. Go ahead and sound off in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the – let's see if I can get this up on the stage.
Appreciate everyone showing up for that and just feeding off it all game long. So I think the biggest thing for our guys is just the way they're so committed to the process each and every week, and just you can see it, you can hear it. Pads are popping every single day in practice, and they're just, they got an edge to them still and haven't lost it since the beginning there. And after week one, and that's hard to do. It's really hard to do, as you go through the weeks. And, there's been enough reasons, right, from, different motivation factors to get up for games. And our guys each and every week find a way to do it. So we got to keep the pedal down. And there was critical moments that we continue to make plays in, red zone in particular, both sides of the ball, executing in those times. And that's something that we didn't do a great job of in the past. And so just really proud of the guys, and they need to enjoy it tonight and, just stay humble and hungry and keep charging ahead. We've got another one next week.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Let's start with Chase on the left side here. What's your stance on cigar smoking? Did you take one? Did you just chew it? Did you light it up? How did that go?
I haven't got into that yet, so we've been busy. So just the guys are enjoying their time downstairs, and they need to because they've worked hard for it.
Let's go to Charlie on the front right.
What do you see from the pass rush, specifically with Yonze kind of stepping up and having a big night?
Yeah, you just gotta keep coming, and there's gonna be times where they do a good job just getting rid of the football, and they're just they don't hold on to it long enough. I think that's been a lot of why they've been successful. They do a good job, making decisions on where to go with the ball, and quarterbacks does a really good job. But I think there comes those times, those critical moments, and getting them down, when you do get your hands on them, and as a unit, as a front, and that includes linebackers, safeties at times when we bring pressure, working together and not giving up big running lanes for him to escape, whether it's break and contain or up the middle, and it's a full defensive unit, and just what they're doing, because you got to have the coverage behind it. So, again, they got threats all over the place. I thought we did a really nice job over the course of the game, really keeping them under wraps. And, again, doing what we did in the red zone time and time again, and just putting their cleats in the dirt and making them snap the ball one more time. We talk about it all the time. Make them snap the ball one more time. And, at the end of the first half, that was what it took. And it was just a smart play by ZB, knowing that they didn't have any timeouts, more than likely got to throw it. And just baiting and jumping it and finishing the play. Huge play for us.
Front left, Katie.
Seemed like you had a little more juice than normal coming out of the tunnel tonight right before kickoff. Just kind of where did that come from? And then how, as the head coach, do you feel like you have to set the standard of the energy for the team?
Yeah, our guys were fired up. So they got me fired up. So I was excited to see them go out there and do their thing. And they're just, again, before the game, at halftime, just a lot of just a lot of chatter, a lot of just positive, not a too high level of emotions. It's right where I think we understand the week of preparation gets you mentally in the right space to where you're confident going out on the football field. And when you're confident, you got a little more energy, and that's really what I see with our guys. And so, that fires me up. And we played, I think, that whole game and channeled the energy into the right things. Being disciplined and all of that. I know there's some penalties at the end, the last couple drives, but I'd rather make them have to earn it. If we get beat or something like that, I'd rather make them have to earn it than just give up some free yards. And so, just really pleased with the discipline and how we're channeling that energy into the right areas.
Staying on the front left, we'll go to Nick. Yeah, follow-up question about Deontay Pierre. He had one career sack before tonight, and he was part of 3 of them tonight. I guess where's that been, or what changed for him tonight?
He's been right there. I'm really pleased with the last couple of weeks, what he's done. He played a lot of snaps last week. I don't know what his number was today, but with just the depth chart there and the guys that are out, we're asking more out of him, and he's rising to the occasion. He works hard in practice. He's built his stamina up more to where he can compete for 4 quarters now, and that's really cool to see. It's really, him understanding that, man, any play I can go win one-on-one, and making sure he's lined up and does his assignment and just, strains from start to finish in each and every play.
We'll jump to the right side and go to Colin.
Obviously, Ty, Tennessee native. This one kind of did seem personal to him. I'm just curious about how you saw him respond today to Tennessee and kind of with kind of all eyes on him.
Yeah, I don't know if I noticed him be in a different way than any other game. He's amped up, and for him, I think the big thing is balancing the emotions and just staying within himself. And he's always going to tell you, there's always things he can do a little bit better, just like every other guy on the football field. But I think he's getting it. He's kind of understanding where his that fine line is for him. And I think he just prepares so hard for every game. So, this game isn't going to be a lot different. Yeah, there's probably a little more feelings and some things that go way back, and again, where he's from and all that. But he just prepares so hard for every game that this game wasn't going to be much different than the others anyway.
Staying on the right, we'll go to Joe next.
Coach, how would you evaluate the team's ability to run the football tonight?
Yeah, there's the one guy here, the one guy there that we just missed, and then I'd love to see us break some tackles at times when we do get out in space. Daniel, I think, had the hot hand, in the second half for sure, and it was really great to see him do his thing. Felt very confident about him, inside and outside. The touchdown, you can see him open up more and more. He's getting healthier here, and so it was really good to see him out there, picking it up for us. And so, again, more room for improvement. I think, again, being committed to it, being committed to the run has helped us be able to still get our opportunities throwing the ball down the field. But we need to continue to be better in that area as we go through the season to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish.
Let's go to Blake on the far left.
Kalen, with the hoodie, are you just playing along and giving people what they want, or do you think there is something to this look you got going?
This isn't new. I've done this for years, and so, but we're gonna ride the momentum. So I told the guys not to put any ashes to get any.
I love it.
Down there in the locker room. So, but yeah, so it's whatever works.
All right, we're going to finish up with Jonathan in the back middle, right on the right. Right there, yeah.
Coach, a lot of emotion on the field, in the stands, to end that game. What was it like in the locker room, and what does it mean to your team to continue the home winning streak against Tennessee, and then for you guys as a staff to stay undefeated at home in year 2 here?
Yeah, we talked about that throughout the week, and really reminded the guys last night and again right before we went on the football field that Bryant Denny is our home, and what we've done here and how great we've played. And again, it's us and the fans working together to bring that energy, to make it a home field advantage. And so there's just something feel that I've already felt. I felt it early. Not just this year, but last year. When you're out there, there's just a comfort level I think our guys have being out there. And so again, you can't take it for granted. You still got to go out there and make the plays, but having that home field advantage is a big deal. So our guys, as far as just celebrating and downstairs in the locker room, a lot of smiles. They're excited. Last week, I would say this. We talked about the 24-hour rule and enjoying that win. I don't think our guys enjoyed that win much because they were getting ready to go, be back to committing to the process and getting back to work and being better because I think they know that in both areas, both sides of the ball, we left some things on the out there on the table that we didn't take advantage of last week, and that will be the case again when we watch the film here from tonight. But again, we're playing solid football, team football. That's what matters. Each side of the ball, finding their times to pick up the other, and just guys grinding, trusting that the other side's going to get it done sooner or later.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet. Thank you. Roll Tide.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Congratulations to the Alabama Crimson Tide taking on Tennessee in Tuscaloosa and ultimately starting the new streak. And that's what we wanted. And I got to tell you, there were some takeaways from the game, but I really love the intensity that our defense played with. Josh, he's not on the program, but he did talk about, they average approximately 48 yards a game, and Alabama held them to 20. And some of those yards at the end were garbage yards, but we did keep them out of the end zone, and they were like on the 1-inch line or whatever. So a lot of pride still bolstered in this defense. And here's something that I told Josh because, just heading towards Tennessee's last touchdown, our guys look tired. And I'm like, how many plays have we ran? If I did the math right, it looks like Tennessee had a total of 78 plays, so close to that 80 play mark. And the game was extremely physical. And so Alabama, they outlasted, they had, 31 minutes and change. So the time of possession was not lopsided this week like it was the last couple weeks. But Alabama had like 61 plays. So as long as I'm doing the math right, our guys had many more plays on the field, not from a time perspective, but just from a play perspective. And it looked like they were getting tired, but props to them for keeping, Tennessee, one of the hottest offenses, if not the hottest offense in the country, keeping them out of the end zone, keeping them at 20 points. So mighty congratulations to them. There is a certain amount of frustration that at least in the groups where, in the group that I'm connected to and where we're watching, ZB got that beautiful pick six, and man, he needed every single bit of effort that he had in order to score that touchdown. And he swung the momentum back, to the Crimson Tide. But I don't know what happens when we come out, like when we come out of the locker room and then we just totally swing and miss in the second half on our first possession. That's an opportunity right there that I hope Alabama gets cleaned up. Now, look, they've got ice water in their veins. They had a couple of poor series, and the next thing you know, Alabama just gets the ball and they rock and roll. So that part was impressive. Let's see what it looks like. Alabama won the first quarter 7-0. Won the second quarter 16-7. Thanks to that safety. Won the third quarter 7-6, and then the fourth quarter was flat, so that was 7-7. Bringing the score 37-20. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are. As you think about the game and how the momentum swung. I mean, as that interception, that pick six was invaluable to swing the momentum back our way. And so, our I think Formby, they'll probably review the film. I think Formby did a better job against a dynamite, defensive tackle, defensive end tonight. So I was proud of that. One thing that was a little frustrating to me is, even McElroy talked about it, which I just want to point out that McElroy said plenty of positive things tonight about the Alabama Crimson Tide. I think he's, he tries to be unbiased, and he takes a lot of criticism, but he said plenty of great things tonight. And one thing I'm looking at is why do we come out and run the ball? Why is it necessary when you are dicing up their secondary to try to establish the run? And I know we want to wear them down. I know that we want to, burn the clock, but we're very effective at putting together long drives through the air. And even a point that Josh made, some of those plays, like to Jeremy, they kind of develop behind the line of scrimmage and then, runs for 3, 4, 5, 6 yards. That's just like a running play. But we've made our mark on these drives, and it's not like everything is running the ball, even though we want to, as Alabama fans, we want the ball to be ran when it's time to run. But kudos to Ty, man. After those 2 poor series on offense, our defense, I'm proud of what they did tonight. They did give up, a significant amount of yards. If I go back and look, let me check the box or the team stats real quick. I mean, we're going to go over this, on Monday for the official show. So I welcome you to join us Monday for the full show. But total yards 409. So I don't remember what they were averaging, and I'm not gonna go pull it up, but I think it was over 500. And so, for a decent amount of the game, Bama keeps them out. Now, things were difficult the first week of the season. Are we ever going to let them live that down? I don't think they're ever going to forget it. I think it is fuel. It's tackling fuel for what's driving them to polish off 6 straight wins and to beat 4 ranked opponents. And they go on the road next week to a gritty, solid defense. It's South Carolina. So I do know that, what Oklahoma just did to them, 26-7. And, South Carolina has plenty of injuries, but I'm curious. I'm curious to know from you, if we look back at this Tennessee game, what stands out to you about the defense? What stands out to you about Ty's performance? Jeremy Bernard, definitely love getting him back in the game. But what about Ryan Williams? I had to sing that, I had to rap that Eminem, the famous song from Eminem, Guess Who's Back? Whatever the name of that song is. I guess it's not that famous if I don't know the name of it. But it's like, this man is making incredible catches. I think his confidence is coming back. I think it may be back after tonight. So kudos to Ryan Williams. Kudos to Horton. Kudos to Rico Scott. Kudos to Jeremy Bernard. Kudos to Cuevas, man. Cuevas, that dude right there, he made some pretty key plays to keep us moving the football forward. So what do you think this looks like? I think college football is starting to take notice. They may have that feeling that's kind of it's kind of emerging, I would say, in the pit of their stomach, saying, oh no, is Alabama back? And we appreciate you underestimating us. We appreciate you. I say us, I don't play for the team. We appreciate you underestimating the Tide. But kudos to Coach DeBoer. And I think it was like week 2 or week 3, where I talked about what was necessary for Coach DeBoer to get this team pointed in the right direction. I'm going to play that for you real quick because I think it's incredibly important that we know this. And the reason that I continue to play this is because he had a choice to make. He as a group had a choice to make. And I'm very, very proud of him and this football team and their response to starting out with a flop. And yes, it was 27-24 Florida State. The game wasn't even that close. But let's look at something real quick. You know, just a couple things before I turn it over to Josh real quick, because I know he's got a comment he wants to make. You can be a nice guy, but you can also still bring the thunder. And I know that. I know that for a fact. And just in my own, like in my own life and my own development, of course, I have never coached at the level of the University of Alabama. I maybe I've not had that kind of pressure, but God knows that in my life, in real life, I've had significant amounts of pressure. And the reason I'm even going to talk about it is because you do have the ability to grow outside of yourself and become what the moment needs. How do I know that? Because I have done that. Obviously, it's by the grace of God. It's by a lot of hard work, and it's about choosing the mental fortitude and becoming who you want to be. And he has the goods. But in this particular situation, when it comes to the University of Alabama and the expectations, this man has the framework to get the job done. But what got him here is not going to get him to where he wants to go with this program. Because he's got to embrace something that he may never had to have done before. It's a new version of who he is. And Coach Saban had to do that on some levels whenever he was coaching, because he had a system and a process, and he was forced to evolve when offenses changed in college football and in the SEC. So that's where DeBoer finds himself. I was not built to stand face to face, with neurosurgeons and advocate and fight and push back and demand that my daughter gets brain surgery. But you have to embrace the moment. I wasn't built to sit in front of the two people that sexually abused my kids, but you have to embrace the moment. I wasn't built for many of these things, for autism, for seizures, etc. And that's real life. And for him, this is real life. This is the program. It's the future of his coaching staff. It's the families that are connected. It's the boys that are there that want to be professional football players. He has to rise to the moment, and he can. He has what it takes. And he has it's a great coaching staff around him. And I say that too about Ty, because we want the good guys to win. Yeah. But he's got to execute. Josh, I'll turn it over to you. What did you want to say?
That was a lot. It's going to be hard to top that.
So kudos to Coach DeBoer, because I've got to say this man has embraced the moment. He has become what the moment needs. And you can only play the game that's in front of you. And so he's found a way to leverage that. And the football team, Ty Simpson, Jam Miller, Brailsford, a host of guys, they have stepped up and they are embracing the moment, and they see what is possible. When you get a glimpse of what is actually possible, you know what it's going to cost you. You know what it's going to take for you to get there. But when you see a glimpse of hope, it takes you from a state of hopelessness to hopeful, and that is very powerful. So Bray Hubbard, you heard what he said, and Josh even brought it up tonight, and he brings it up often. after that game in Florida State, and he was caught on video loafing. That is not the standard for his family. I can tell you that by the little that I've seen. And they said, what's the rest of it going to look like? I'm paraphrasing. He says, hey, have you ever poured gasoline on a fire? And that's it. That's where this football team is through all the scrutiny of the defense, because we are used to shut down defense of the Coach Saban era, at least the first 3 quarters of the era. But look now. Yes, we gave up over 400 yards, but look at the scoreboard. So there's a lot of bending without breaking. And I just can't say enough about this team that they were so stingy. They insisted on keeping Tennessee out of the end zone. Right there, 4th and less than a yard. And I thought that Tennessee scored the touchdown. And they didn't. And they didn't again. And there were several penalties. They had every right. Check that. Scratch that. They had every reason in front of them to say, hey, we've already won this game, so just let them score. They had every reason to do so. But that teaches you about the character of this football team. Week 1, they got caught slipping. And you know what? You might have that situation in your own life. You might have got caught slipping. You might have got caught at your worst. But what does this mean? What does this look like right here? It's what we talk about often on my marriage podcast, which is who you are is not who you have to be. And you can transform your life. And these guys are transforming their opportunities right in front of us. And they are playing the game on the field. And yes, there's a significant amount of adversity. Yes, things are not, they're not scoring points and running the plays that we want them to run because, Lord, I miss the blowouts. Plenty of people said before, they're like, hey, the games are boring. What's with all these blowouts? Well, guess what? The blowouts aren't there, although this 37-20 looks pretty darn good. So what happens is this team finds a way to win. And that's what you need to do in life. You put in the work and you find a way to win. So congratulations to the University of Alabama. I'll leave this open for your comments just in case any of you guys watching live, just in case you want to put a Yeah. Okay. I just wanted you to get a little bit of that. It's Hate Week. And guess what? What a way to wrap up Hate Week. And there's a lot going on in college football now. I mean, we saw today Miami went down last night. They went down to Louisville. And then what in the world happened to Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss Rebels? They went down to Georgia. So, there's some teams. Texas Tech went down. There's some teams in front of us. And, hey, look, Arkansas, they took it to Texas A&M and in Fayetteville. So, there's going to be some more movement in the top 10. And so it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. But for now, once the celebration is over, the cigars are smoked. Now it's on to South Carolina, which can be a sleeper game. And we need to go there, and we need to have a significant amount of success for us to continue this quest to get back into the playoffs, to be relevant in the postseason, and then to compete for a national championship. And I think what you can see is that Alabama is getting there one football game at a time. And don't think ahead. Just conquer the next one. Great lesson for all of us, especially when things don't go as planned. How do you respond? What is your character? How do you respond? And this team, I'm impressed with their ability to respond. So roll Tide, guys. Roll Tide. Very proud of you guys down in Tuscaloosa. I know there was like 5 minutes left, 5 minutes and change left, and fans started lighting up the cigars. And I'm like, wait, the game's not over. What are you doing? But turns out it was. So 37-20. Alabama holds Tennessee to 20 points when they were on the 1 foot line. Thank you, defense. Coach Womack, you've taken a lot of heat over the last year and a half, and it was warranted. But you are making the rounds, and I got to give props. Before I go, I've got to give some props. LT Overton, my goodness, dude. Pierre, my goodness. Now, Nakai Hill-Green, we didn't hear about you as much today, but come on, dude. You are playing ball. And what about Red Morgan? Red Morgan came in and he made plays. Justin Jefferson, on that last push for Tennessee to score, you were getting held it was just blatantly obvious. Your jersey was being pulled. There was distance between you and the back of your jersey, and you still ran him down and ran the quarterback down and tackled him. So thank you for the hustle. Thanks for putting the hustle behind the muscle. Cuevas, you came up big tonight. Jeremy Bernard, you are a man among boys. Congratulations to you. Ryan Williams, welcome back. Whether it's your health or your confidence or a combination of both, welcome back, brother. It is great to see you having success. Rico Scott, congratulations. Daniel Hill, congratulations. Latsier Brooks, congratulations. Guys, way to get it done. Ty Simpson, great job. Formby, you look better tonight. And then Proctor, looking good. Parker, you had 1 penalty. I think this is going to be the most penalties we've had in quite a while, but many of them came towards the end of the game. So, but it is what it is. Congratulations to the Alabama Crimson Tide, moving to 6-1. 6 straight wins, ladies and gentlemen. 6 straight wins. And let me just remind you of something just really, really quickly. I'm going to pull this up here because I think it's important for you to be reminded. You may not have to be reminded, but the old Q Dog is going to remind you just really quick. Give me a moment here. Okay, there we go. Let me go ahead and share this with you. Okay. So if you can see, hopefully you can see. I'm going to make this bigger. There you go. Look at this. UL Monroe, blah, blah, blah. It's a win, 73 points. Wisconsin, they got blanked today by Ohio State. But Georgia, okay, you beat Georgia. Then you beat Vanderbilt at home. Come on, boys. Then you played Missouri, and you beat them, and then you just beat Tennessee. So very, very impressive run, guys. Congratulations to you. You've earned it. You've earned it. Now we're going to get into the back half of that schedule, which is South Carolina, LSU at home. So we're going to be on the road, LSU at home. Then this Oklahoma game, which we have circled on the map because Josh and I are heading to Tuscaloosa to watch that game. And, man, when we were playing Florida State, we were not feeling good about those tickets. But we do now. And so we've got a stretch of games here that are going to be anything but easy. But this team is not looking for easy. They're looking for the adversity in the face, and they're looking to overcome it. Like they want to get in front of it and take it down. So congratulations, guys. I'm loving it. Roll Tide, everybody. Looks like I ran this one solo. Compliments to Coach DeBoer, Coach Womack, and the coaching staff at the University of Alabama. I'm sure that you guys enjoyed your CIGARS, or you will here pretty quickly. But that is all for this episode of the BS Podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to join us on Monday night at 5:30 Central as we give you the full Monty. We're going to have Wild Bill's Bama bullet points. I'll cover the full length of stats. The dashes on DeBoer. We'll have talk about Coach DeBoer's press conference, and then we'll make our predictions for Alabama, South Carolina. And also, we're going to find out who won the prediction for this week. We've got Amber, who's on the leaderboard, so it'll be very interesting to find out. Until then, God bless you. Galatians 6:9. Do not grow weary in doing good. Go find somewhere to do some good. It better start under your own roof. But with that, I'm Quincy Moran. This is the BS Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Roll Tide. Bama takes down the Vols 37-20. Get some.
One message for you from your aunt. She will bust both of you in the head. Can y'all hear me?
Not rocket science,
I think you, like me, have a face for radio.
Can y'all hear me?
We gonna play with the players we got. The next man up.
That's why it sucks.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
This kind of unprofessionalism does not need to be tolerated. I mean it. Like,
can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
What the hell is going on here? Just all hang up.
Another episode of the BS Podcast.
Hang on.
Quincy Moran.
Hang on. There's all kinds of noise in my ear now.
Oh, jeez.
We need a little bit more professionalism.